Kansas City as well to come see this. So
I love you guys. I did not mean to. Maybe, I mean, anyone who drove a long distance to be here, like, you guys are awesome.
So in my case, I've been working in call centers for past decade, more because entry level, decent pay, and really couldn't get anything else. My main question is actually more tied to the Medicare for All issue, though, since part of what I was working for was the Medicare and health insurance marketplace call centers. I've had numerous, just countless calls from people who, okay, even with basic Medicare as is, you still have the issue of it covers 80%, but then the remaining 20% you're stuck with. So even taking a past bill that I've had to deal with, the base price on it was $138,000. Even with the base 80% covered, I'd still be looking at about 25 grand, and I'd still be paying that off. And okay, you could get another plan to cover the remaining 20%, but that's still another $500+ a month usually. So even taking into account that and the list of exclusions a lot of plans will have, what's your plan for trying to make it so that even going for Medicare for All, making it so that the bill still doesn't pretty much financially ruin someone if they get caught in that kind of accident or some kind of situation like cancer or anything else that's going to just leave them hospitalized for who knows how long?
Thank you. It's a great question. My parents retired to another country a number of years ago. They bounced back and forth because I have I have kids, so they want to visit their grandkids, so they hear a lot too. But when they went into the hospital in Asia, they were blown away by how fast and easy and inexpensive it was. They were literally just like, what? Like, is that it? And then they just gave them like a $50 like copay for like significant procedures too. And then they came back to this country and they're like, what is going on with the American healthcare system? We've essentially been shell-shocked by our own system for so long, where if you say something like it cost $58,000 to do something, like we all know those horror stories all too well. There are a lot of costs that are baked into our system that are not real. And you know this because a lot of the hospital pricing, it's all over the map. Like the same thing can cost something totally different in one county versus another. It can cost something totally different from one patient to another in the same hospital. There's a lot of fabrication going on and a lot of sticker shock. And when you dig in, you find that the true costs of a lot of this stuff are much lower than we're paying. And there's no clearer example of that than prescription drugs. Where if you look at the prescription drugs, again, the prices are like completely arbitrary and all over the map. So one of the things I proposed, which, like, one, Medicare has to be able to negotiate drug prices. That would bring the cost down for Americans very, very quickly. Two, we should say to all the drug companies, we need to be paying no more than the average of what you're charging other countries, because they're in the habit of gouging us relative to other countries, because the other countries are too smart to pay extortionate rates, but we're not smart enough. So they're like, you know what we're gonna do? We're gonna like charge everyone else like stuff where we can make money at normal rate, and then Americans is up here. So there are ways we can get the cost down. I'm confident of it in large part because other countries have done at least some versions of it, and I've looked at the numbers. I have a friend who's an investor in that space, and she tells me that she has never seen profiteering at this scale in her entire career. She's like, looks at some of the drug companies and the device companies and the service providers and is like, their numbers make no sense. And she said that they make so little sense that she's now shorting those companies or betting against them. And then she supported my campaign for president so I can clean it up. And that's what I'm gonna do. There's like zero lobbyist money in this campaign. It's all $19 donations from people like you. I'm my own man. I'm gonna do what's right for the American people. And if that means like trying to rip out some of these costs in the healthcare system, that would give me delight.